Benson. Adam Benson, everyone.
Calm down, man, I'm taking. Calm down, I need this over here. Yeah, I'm engaged to a woman. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Makes no sense to me either. She's great. She's here tonight. If you see her, give her a hug, because she's a saint for putting up with me, I can tell you that much. So as a comedian, I try out my jokes and my impressions I sometimes do on my fiancée. And like I said, she's a saint for putting up with it. So I found out there's one place you can't do impressions and practice them. It's when you're kind of alone in an intimate moment. You don't like that. And given recent events, the Bill Cosby impression is really creepy now. It's my own fault because I turn to her and I go, "You need to drink this and then take a nap." You see, I'm going to put the Jell-O into your mouth. So, last month, my parents finally met my soon-to-be in-laws, which was good. Before we got together for supper, me and my fiancée were both very nervous about this meeting. I'll tell you why. We come from very different families. Greg mentioned my parents do live here. My dad is the Pentecostal minister of over 20 years. And my soon-to-be father-in-law curses and drinks like a sailor, because he is a sailor. So going into this supper, I was convinced that Jesus Christ was going to be mentioned at some point in this night. The question is, who's going to bring it up? I was really worried. Turns out, it went great. Went fine. Father-in-law never cursed once. I was like, what the heck? I'm like sliding in drinks, trying to, see what's going on. So, it made no sense to me, because this is the same man that at one point, and excuse my language, I heard say, "Damn it to hell, you son of a bitch." He was talking to the Christmas tree. So we get home after, me and my fiancée, and we're just chatting. She's so happy that this went great. She could not be happier. So she's talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, it's good. I'm happy. She's like, what's wrong? Why don't you seem as happy? I said, well, I was kind of hoping something would happen so I could talk about it. And she looked at me and she said, you wanted the first meeting between our parents to go wrong so you could have a joke. I said, yep. I slept on the couch. It was a comfortable couch. So, I have a Bachelor of Arts from Memorial University. That's the correct response. Perfect. That is, sometimes people clap, and I'm like, please don't clap. Please don't. I am 33 years old. I work in a call center. I live in my father's house. Life went wrong at some point. But it's great. And then I confessed to a friend of mine once that when I was in university, and I'll tell you now, and it's not right. It's not a good thing. I told him that a couple of times I cheated when I was in university. And when I told him that, he said, are you worried that if they find out, they're going to do something about it? And I said, no, I'm not worried about it, because one, it's been 3 years since I graduated. 2, are they going to take away my Bachelor of Arts? Really? I looked into it. I looked into it. If they catch you cheating at MUN, they give you a Bachelor of Arts. All right, I'm going to segue here from my fiancée to my ex. My ex-girlfriend was, how do I put this nicely? Stupid. She was. I'll explain why. I have a couple stories to explain why. And you'll agree with me that this person was very dumb. When we would go grocery shopping, and she wanted to go down the aisle to get something at the end of the aisle, she would say, watch the cart. Watch the cart. here's the scenario. It's 4 a.m. It's Sobeys. There's 6 people in the building. 4 of them work there. So she's like, watch the card. So eventually I said to her, why do I have to watch the card? And it wasn't, her purse was there or anything that would make sense. She said, someone could take our card. I said, it's 4 a.m. and we're in Sobeys. You really think someone's going to walk in here, look at our card, be like, holy shit, everything I need, and take our card? And she looked at me as serious as she could and said, you never know. Another thing about her, we'd be driving in the car and she thought that an accident was going to occur. No matter whose fault it was, out of the corner of my eye, I would always see her do this. So eventually I was like, what are you doing? What's the point? And she said, it protects me. It makes me feel safe. No. Seatbelts protect you. Airbags protect you. This makes me think you have the mind of a 5-year-old. That if you didn't see it or hear it, it didn't happen. You will never, ever hear on the NTV evening news at 5:30 in Labrador, you will never hear this. Accident on the highway of Newfoundland, Labrador today. A woman died in a head-on collision. The police say she would have survived had she covered her ears and closed her eyes. Back to you, Lynn. So I said, like I said, my parents live here, and some of you know who they are. If you don't know who they are, you'll probably meet them at some point. I had a couple stories about them. They're not here. It's okay. My dad, one time, he's a great man. He'll do anything for anybody. If you know him, that's true. He'll do anything for anyone. So he was driving, and he saw a lady who was carrying groceries. And she had a crutch under one arm, because she had a bad leg. And she was carrying groceries while on a crutch. So being the nice guy that he is, he stops. Asks her if she wants a ride. She accepts. They get in and start driving. They start to communicate and talk to each other. My dad asks her what her name is. Her name, and I'm not making this up, was Mary Brown. My dad says, so I guess Mary Brown doesn't have the best legs in town tonight. Comes home, tells us at supper what he said. He's the only one laughing. And says, I'm going to tell that over to pulpit. Mom stopped him, I think. I don't know, he might have. But I never. The schools were going to be changing around. They were taking the religion out of the schools. Dad's a minister. He wasn't a fan of this. So he wanted to call into Open Mind and talk about it. Now, we're in PEI. This is a long time ago. This is before cell phones, so Dad has to go use a payphone. So Mom says, tell me what you're going to say first before you go on the radio to make sure you say something, don't say anything you regret. So he tells her. So he goes to the payphone, calls an Open Line, starts talking on Open Line. 2 minutes into it, Mom comes running up to the payphone like a nut and starts banging on the windows of the payphone while Dad's on the phone. She's like, Ralph, get off the phone. Get off the phone. And Dad's like, go away. Ralph, there's a guy on the radio saying the exact same thing you were going to say. I'm not making any of that up. I'm not making any of that up.